Okay, so this one looks very similar to the one above. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by -5 all three terms. Actually, including the 0. So divide by -5, divide by -5, divide by -5, and divide by -5. -5x squared divided by 5 is simply x squared. -10x divided by -5 is positive 2x. And positive 2x divided by -5 is -2/5. 0 divided by -5 is 0. So we're going to isolate the terms with the x's. X squared plus 2x equals, add 2 over 5 to both sides, 2 over 5. Done. I'm going to see what number can I add to both sides so that my left-hand side is a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to say that that is going to be +1. Why? Because I have b over 2 squared. My b is 2 divided by 2 squared, which is 1 squared. Remember, I want this form, which is just 1. So I need to add 1 to both sides. I'm going to factor this and get it into, because it's a perfect square binomial, it factors into x plus 1 squared equals, okay, so this some people might be able to say, oh, it's 7 over 5 already. Sometimes people need to step it out a bit, so I'm going to step it out just in case. 5 over 5 is the same thing as 1. I'm just getting a common denominator. X plus 1 squared equals 2 plus 5 is 7. We don't do anything to the denominator, so we get 5. I'm going to take the square root of both of those sides. So I'm going to get x plus 1 is plus equals the positive 7 over 5 and negative 7 over 5. And we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. So x equals -1 plus or minus 7 over 5. And if I went too fast with that, don't, feel free to watch it a couple of times or pause when things get a little hairy so that you can catch up. Okay, so fractions. Everybody loves fractions, don't we? Just joking, no one does. The easiest way to get rid of fractions in an equation is going to be multiplying by the lowest common denominator. So you're going to say, but this one doesn't have a denominator. Yes, it does. Whenever you have a whole number, you can just put the denominator as 1. So the lowest common denominator for this one is going to be 2. So I'm going to multiply each term by 2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. So that becomes x squared. 3 times 2 is 6. Times x is 6x. 9 minus 9 halves times 2. You can think of it as these two things canceling, like the worksheet that I offered you. So this is going to be 9 equals 0. Now this one, you might think, oh, that kind of looks like a good perfect square trinomial, but take a closer look at it. Two numbers that have to multiply out to -9 but add to +6. That's not quite right. So I am going to just isolate the x squared plus 6x. I'm going to leave room for both this and this. Equals +9 plus whatever we add in the green. So the number that makes this a perfect square trinomial, half of 6 is 3, squared is 9, so it's going to be +9, +9. So then this becomes x plus 3 squared equals 18. X minus 3 because we're taking this, sorry, x plus 3 because we're taking the square root of both sides. Plus minus 18. Now I'm going to take this a little step further because I know that you guys practice this. Plus minus 3 root 2. And let me just do a little side work. Square root, not side word, side work. Square root of 18 equals the square root of 9 times 2. which is the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, which is 3 root 2. Okay, a little side work. And then I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Negative 3 plus or minus root 3. Oh, sorry, no. Plus or minus 3 root 2. Bam. So remember, there are two values for x that are embedded, right? X equals negative 3 plus 3 root 2, and x equals negative 3 minus 3 root 2. Very similar thing that's happening here. We want to multiply by the lowest common denominator, so I'm going to, oh, and actually since there's a negative here, I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1/2. Oh, sorry, by negative 2. So this one is also going to be times by negative 2, and this one is going to be times by negative 2. I'm just going to go like that so it doesn't look like x minus 2. So negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 1/2 is 1, so we're left with positive x squared. Positive 6x times negative 2 is going to be negative 12x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is going to be plus 1 equals 0. First things first, we can check is this already a perfect square trinomial? It isn't, because half of negative 12 is 6, squared is 36, so we need to do some fancy footwork. So isolate the x and x squared terms. So negative 12x equals negative 1. I'm just going to put the green here. So we got to ask ourselves, what is the number that we can add to both sides that will make the left-hand side a perfect square trinomial? Negative 12 over 2 squared, negative 6 squared, 36, plus 36, plus 36. So this should always be done on kind of like a separate sheet of paper, or kind of off on the side. You can like label it scratch work or scrap paper or rough work. Not with that way. Rough work. Okay, whatever works best for you. It cannot be part of the solution though. So then I say x minus 6 squared equals 35. X minus 6 is plus minus root 35. X equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 35, and we are done. Do you want to see one more? No! Tough bananas. Let's do this one. Now this is a kind of a harkening back to dividing by a specific number, so let's do that. So since there is a coefficient of 3, I want to divide by 3 all the terms. Oh, and I want to make sure that you realize that I'm multiplying this 0 by negative 2 as well, but it doesn't really register because 0 times negative 2 is just 0. Okay, and if we're multiplying 0 by 2, it's still 0. Okay, whenever I've missed that, I think I got it up there. Whenever I've missed that, that's the important piece. That makes that separates factoring and simplifying. It separates it from solving equations. So when we're factoring and simplifying, we can't just get rid of a fraction. Whereas when we solve equations, sometimes we can use that 0 to our advantage. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, so x squared, plus 9 divided by 3 is 3x, plus 5 over 3 equals 0. It's not a perfect square trinomial, so let's isolate those first two terms. X squared plus 3x equals negative 5 over 3. And we're going to think of that number that creates a perfect square trinomial on the left-hand side. This one is a little bit trickier. Okay, so I'm going to say b over 2 squared, 3 over 2 squared, which is 9 over 4. So I'm going to add 9 over 4 to both sides. This gets factored because thank you very much for this intermediate step. X plus 3 over 2 squared equals, now we need to do some fancy footwork here with finding the lowest common denominator, which is 12. 3 times 4 is 12, so we need to multiply the 5 by 4 as well, so negative 20. 4 gets multiplied by 3. Let me just put in this step here. So 9 times 3 is 27, so we're saying plus. Let's just take a little time to simplify here. X plus 3 over 2 squared equals 7 over 12. X plus 3 over 2 equals plus minus root 7 over 12. X equals negative 3 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 7 over 12. Now, I want you guys to get as fast as I am. That might be a lofty goal, but I'm sure if you take the practice in the textbook first, you'll be able to do that. Now, there is some extra practice with an answer key in this set of notes. You're welcome to do that, but again, as per usual, I encourage you to do the textbook work first.